this episode of the Comic Book Review Show, we're going to be talking about Alien Covenant. Was the film any good? Was it worth your time to see? Well, you'll find out the answer to that and more, as this episode is brought to you by Wonder Woman in theaters June 2nd. And this episode of the Comic Book Review Show, it starts right now. Adventurous ones and comic book readers alike, this is the Comic Book Review Show. I am your host, as always, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe. And this episode is brought to you by DC and Warner Brothers' hit new film coming out, Wonder Woman, in theaters June 2nd. Be sure to catch all the exciting action and Wonder Woman's amazing origin, starring Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Diana Prince. Woo! I love it. She is hot. Seriously, for an Israeli woman, she is fucking hot. Either way. Okay. On to business. Alien Covenant came out in theaters, and we've seen it already, and I will tell you right now, what a disappointment. I mean, seriously. Despite little things in it and stuff like that, you know, made you, well, alright, you know, it was a real disappointment. I mean, it was not the greatest in the world. Would I see it again? Probably not. Probably wait till it comes to DVD or Blu-ray. Maybe that, but not go to the theater and see it again. Whew. But, let's get on with the reason why I would not go to the theater and see this again. Alien Covenant starts off incredibly boring. Incredibly boring. It starts off with young Mr. Whalen talking to David, played by the great Michael Fassbender. I am so sorry. I had the name right on the top of my head. Sorry. Michael Fassbender, who also plays Walter in this, a similar android that looks just like David from Prometheus. Now, the whole premises of the story is the Prometheus, as you know, in the first film, started off on its journey and stuff. They found this planet and stuff that, you know, they thought was the home of the engineers and stuff like that. It turns out this planet had more to it than, you know, it let on, you know. And same deal with Alien Covenant, okay? The movie starts off with the fact that Walter is walking the ship like he's supposed to do and stuff because he's an android. You don't need sleep. You don't need sleep. You don't really need to power down or anything else in between. He's walking the ship, doing his rounds, making sure the crew's all in cryostasis. A crew of 2,000 people. Whew. It was just unbelievable. 2,000 colonists. Okay? And they were heading to this planet that's supposed to be just like Earth. Okay? And it's going to take at least 7 years for them to still get there and everything. Okay? Walter and Mother, Mother is in this too. Mother is the computer of the ship. Okay, just like in the Nostromo of the original Alien. Okay, Mother basically tells him some kind of a huge shockwave is coming and stuff because they were using solar panels out, you know, solar like sail things and stuff that came out of the ship to charge up the batteries for the ship, basically, okay? Charge up and give it the power to the ship and everything. Walter is checking out all the colonists, making sure they're all safely in hypersleep and everything else in between. He checks on the embryos and stuff like that. That's the unborn kids, basically. Frozen eggs and stuff like that. Checks them out. Takes one, apparently, that died or something, takes it out, puts it in a biohazard container or something, and moves on. Next thing you know, boom, this huge shockwave hits, and the ship the sails on the ship thing, the solar sails thing, get ripped to shred, get ripped to the point that the ship is literally rocking out of control and stuff. He's telling Mother to do all these certain things and stuff, and he says, activate the emergency crew and stuff like that. So he's in there waking up the Daniels and all these other people you're going to meet later on in the story and stuff, telling them that the ship's in trouble and stuff. They're all waking up and everything. And they're trying to get James Franco out of his freaking cryo tube. And they can't get him out. The ship's having fire problems and everything else in between. And he literally burns to death in his fucking pod. He literally burns to death. I was like, oh my God. That's why James Franco really had a very short-lived part in this film. So I don't even know why he was part of the cast. Either way, his role in this was Daniel's husband, okay? Catherine Daniels, or whatever her name is exactly, okay? A lot of people just call her Danny, okay? She basically is in tears, okay? Literally ripping herself to pieces over it and stuff, because her husband's gone. And James Franco had a very short-lived part in this and stuff. Now, it turns out Walter, the android, he's very close with her and stuff. They're kind of like friendly with each other and stuff. But Walter, you know, is an android. He's not supposed to have those human emotions and stuff like that, like David had. And it just is a very complicated relationship with those two. Either way, the next thing that happens is that they trace back to where the shockwave came from. Where did this shockwave come from? All of a sudden, they're picking up a transmission from somewhere and stuff. Someone's singing Country Road. And Danny McBride, okay, he picks up on this and stuff. His name is Tennessee, by the way, okay, in the film. He picks up on this and he says, oh, don't get me started on John Denver. I know everything about John Denver and stuff, including all the music. And he says, that's Take Me Home Country Road. You know, he says, okay, they start saying to themselves, okay, who the hell is out here besides us? Who the hell is out here communicating that? And so, what do? The new captain in charge, he's very religious, by the way. I think he was a reverend or something exactly, or a preacher. He had very religious beliefs about things, including the fact that you gotta have faith in the Lord and all this other. Either way, it diverts from the story, taking them, the whole ship, the Covenant, basically goes to this planet and to where the transmission's coming from and stuff. And little did they frickin' know, this planet they went to was the home of the engineers. The engineers that were in, you know, like the one they fought in Prometheus and stuff. They were giants. Giant motherfuckers. Seriously. They go to this planet not knowing this stuff. And yet they're finding all this vegetation and everything else, you know. Well, anyways, shit gets crazy out of control real fast and stuff. After one of them says, I'm going to go take a leak and stuff when he's with the preacher man's wife and stuff, okay? She's picking up samples to, you know, study and stuff like that. And he steps on something like eggs or something, and little microorganism looking things like flies or something just fly right into his ear canal. Next thing, and bury themselves right inside him. And next thing you know, he's getting sick as hell, okay? And they're trying to get him back to the frickin' ship. They get him back to the frickin' ship, or the lander, excuse me, and he gets way out of control sick. He starts barfing up blood and everything else, and, you know, literally puking blood and stuff. And next thing you know, he's got something growing out of his frickin' backside. Well, Danny McBride's wife is the pilot for the lander and shit. She gets all scared shitless and she locks the preacher man's wife inside with the damn other guy who's freaking got something ripping out of his backside. And she's like, get me out of here! You let me the fuck out of here! For a preacher preacher man's wife, she swears pretty heavy. Either way, she is locked in there with whatever's coming out of his frickin' back. And Danny McBride's wife, the pilot, goes back and grabs a fucking gun to shoot the damn thing. When she opens the damn door after the thing ripped itself out of the backside of the guy and shit, it turns out it's one of those, you know, it's a tiny neomorph. I mean, that's what they're calling these things, neomorphs, okay? They are the epitome of what will become a xenomorph, I guess, apparently, or something. Either way, this is how the terror starts. And then it turns out while they were inside the ship that the rest of the crew that was, you know, the new captain and everybody else in between, including Daniels, they were all inside the ship there. The one guy touches one of these little egg things and stuff, and same thing happens to him. It goes right up to his nostrils and freaking buries itself there. Next thing you know, he's getting sick as hell and shit, and they're trying to rush him back to the ship. And the other guy with him is his husband, and they literally are trying to get him back to the ship now and stuff, to the lander. And fucking shit hit the fan, because all of a sudden the shit that was taking place on the lander, including Danny McBride's wife shooting into the damn air and fucking missing the neomorph altogether, and then she tries to go back and kill the motherfucking thing again by grabbing another gun. She basically left the preacher man's wife to get murdered. I mean, literally murdered. And she's screaming for them to get back here. Get back here now! Next thing you know, kaboom! The whole fucking lander just explodes. It just fucking exploded. And with the preacher man's wife on board, Danny McBride's wife on board, and the neomorph. But the neomorph didn't die. The fucking neomorph didn't die. The motherfucker came out of the fucking wreckage and it fucking started attacking people. I said, what the shit? And these things grow pretty damn quick. This thing was just a tiny little, like, monkey. And next thing you know, it fucking was, like, almost the size of one of the xenomorphs. I was like, holy shit. And all of a sudden, as the crew's being attacked, and the gay couple, his husband's dying on the ground there, and all of a sudden a new neomorph comes out of him and fucking starts attacking everybody and shit. They're trying to get away. They're shooting at these damn things, and all of a sudden somebody in a hooded cloak shows up and shoots something into the air and shot one of the neomorphs, and he says, follow me. And so everybody runs like hell following him and shit. And next thing you know, you find out it's David from the Prometheus. Holy fucking shit. Walter is standing there literally looking at himself like, who are you? I mean, Michael Fassbender played 2 roles in this. Walter and David. And this is where shit really gets crazy. Because David lies to them, which an android's not supposed to do. Literally, an android like them are not supposed to lie. Okay? Well, David lies to them and says that Catherine was killed in the crash and stuff, but he deeply loved her and everything else in between. And David and Walter says, you're an android just like I am and stuff. You're not supposed to have these emotions and stuff. And either way, fast forward, one of the crew members gets killed by one of the neomorphs that snuck in the place and shit. Literally, she gets killed. Her head gets ripped right off and fucking laying there in the drink and shit. And David stands there looking at it, and he tells the captain, don't shoot. Don't shoot. You know? But the captain, you know, when it's standing there looking at David and stuff, and literally just standing there, the captain just starts opening fire, and David freaks the fuck out. I'm like, no, what did I do? And I'm like, for an android, this guy's got way too much emotion. Either way, he basically gets even with the captain by taking him down into the lower part of the building and stuff. And there is the eggs. The eggs. The iconic face-hugging motherfucking eggs. And it turns out David created the xenomorphs. David created the fucking xenomorphs and the neomorphs. I'm like, what the shit? It tears apart the whole alien lore stuff altogether. The mystery of how these, everything comes together and stuff. But, moving on. He tells the captain, oh, the eggs are perfectly safe and stuff. And he says, look inside. And he looks into it. And out pops the motherfucking face hugger through the gel shit. And fucking latches itself onto the captain and stuff. And literally just does this shit. And next thing you know, Daniels and them says, they finally get a hold of Danny McBride and them up on the Covenant. And says that the lander's gone, your wife's gone, the captain's wife is gone. We need to get the hell out of here. Then he says, okay, I'm coming down there. And he brings the ship in too damn close to the planet and shit, to the point, in the atmosphere where they're fighting lightning storms and shit, and the atmosphere, and he takes this other, landing craft thing. It's like a platform looking thing, and goes down there to get them out of there and shit. Well, while he's on his way down, other shit is taking place to the point that the xenomorph is around now. And I figured, okay, neomorph and xenomorph, maybe they'll have some kind of a huge showdown between each other or something. Nope, that's not the case in this one. Especially with the fact that the sucker didn't burst out like the chest burster does and shit. It's like a snake-looking creature and stuff. With the xenomorph's head and everything. Before it grows arms and legs. No, this sucker grow out fucking legs, tail, everything. And it's standing there mimicking David, holding its hands up and everything. And I was like, what the hell? And either way, after they find out the captain's dead, one of those facehuggers attacks the other gay guy there and stuff that lost his husband to one of the neomorphs bursting out of him and shit. Okay, fucking shit hit the fan to the point that the facehugger's on him and shit. He gets his face burned when the black guy cut the one guy that's with him and stuff. Cuts the fucking tail off the thing and stuff, and his face gets burned and shit. And you didn't think the face hugger got him enough, okay, to lay the egg in him and stuff. Turns out later on, you're gonna find out that's wrong. Well, anyways, Daniels and them are running like fucking hell. Walter has found out the truth about what the hell's going on, confronts David. David thinks he kills Walter and shit, but Walter is still alive because he rescues Daniels from David, and they literally start going fisticuffs, bam, 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 punching one another and shit, to the point that, it comes down to, he's literally got David on the ground and stuff ready to finish him. David reaches over for this knife that he dropped, that Walter dropped, and it just goes from there. You don't see what happens from there. And now you're seeing everyone run for the damn other lander thing that Danny McBride comes down on and shit. And it's just like, holy shit, run like hell. Because the xenomorph is right behind them. It's literally right fucking behind them, and it's going... and it's like, uh-oh. So, either way, on that one, all of a sudden you see Walter running out there. What? Okay. Then I'm like, okay, he must have killed David. Good job for a guy that only had one hand left and shit. And, oh yeah, Walter, by the way, lost his hand earlier on because he stuck it in the mouth of one of the xenomorphs, one of the neomorphs, and it fucking literally melted it off. Literally melted it off. And he comes out, he's only got his one hand and shit, and you think, okay, Walter beat David, okay, let's get the hell out of here. David, Walter's trying to take care of the other guy and stuff that got his face burned, and Daniels and Danny McBride are trying to get the damn ship off the ground and shit, and the xenomorph is underneath the damn fucking thing, and she says, I'm going out there. She gets a fucking weapon, straps herself to that fucking thing, and she's shooting at that thing. And the fucking, just like you saw in the fucking trailer, it's on top of the fucking craft, literally trying to break through the damn window. And I'm like, holy shit, okay, it's getting crazy from here now. And she literally finally beats that fucker by literally taking this other platform's thing. It's got some kind of a crane to it, and she literally clamps onto the fucking little bastard, catching him inside, takes the axe and hits the motherfucker so hard that he fucking, bleeds out and shit. And when they let go of him, the crane lets go of him, he just falls to his death. And you think, okay, they got away. They're getting away. They're heading back to the Prometheus. Or the Covenant, excuse me. Either way, you think they got away. Well, they did, and they didn't. Because it turns out that the gay guy who lost his husband, okay, he did get one of those motherfucking chest bursters inside of him. Okay? And that little sucker grows tremendously fast. I mean, seriously, the xenomorphs grow fast in this damn thing. Any other time you always saw them like the little snake creatures things first and stuff, and over time they take on the characteristics of what they, what they're growing into and shit, like a human being size walking around kind of thing, or like the Alien 3 dog-like creature and shit like that. Either way, it just gets nuts from there, because now the Xenomorph Reborn is on board the Covenant. They gotta get it off the motherfucking ship. The other two people, the other couple that was still on board with Danny McBride, okay, they are in the shower fucking around with each other and stuff, and the Xenomorph kills them. Literally kills them. And Daniels and Danny McBride, Tennessee, fucking go after the Xenomorph. Walter is closing off all these areas and stuff like that, to the point that at one point the Xenomorph looks at the fucking camera and he's looking right at Walter. Walter's looking right at it, and the fucking thing goes with its other mouth and goes pow right through the camera. I'm like, whoa! And then him literally jumped back like, whoo. You would think there was something kind of strange about that, because Walter wasn't supposed to have any kind of human type emotions. Okay? Well, long story short, they finally killed the fucking Xenomorph, just like Alien has done before and stuff. And Aliens launched the motherfucker out into space. Fastest way possible, I guess, to get rid of a Xenomorph. Either way, it's gone. It's done. You think it's all over. The film starts to go to the closing, to the fact that Danny McBride, Tennessee, is back in his cryotube. He's gone to sleep and stuff. Daniels, now the captain of the ship and stuff, puts him to sleep and stuff, and she gets ready to get in her cryotube. And she says to Walter about the cabin that she mentioned early on in the film and stuff, after her husband died. Okay, mentioned about that on the new planet they were going to and stuff. They were going to build a cabin and everything else. They had real wood for and everything. She asks Walter if, when they reach there, would he help her build her cabin and stuff. Now, Walter had no emotions whatsoever and stuff in the first time she mentions this and stuff. This time around, Walter smiles about it and says something, and that's when you realize Walter is David. What the fuck? Yep, Walter is not there with them. It was David the whole fucking time. Which kind of explains the Xenomorph getting mad and fucking putting its face right, putting its mouth through the fucking camera and scaring him there. And making him jump back like a... Either way, she's freaking out. She's already in her cryotube. He's putting her to sleep and stuff, and he says, "Sleep tight, Captain." And she's like, going out. And he says, "I'll tuck the children in." and he starts waltzing through the motherfucking Covenant and shit. Goes to the chamber where the embryos and the other colonists are and stuff, and he goes in there, opens up the embryos drawer and stuff, and all of a sudden you start seeing him go, and out pops, what's in his hand? A xenomorph egg. He's literally got a facehugger's egg in his hand, and he puts that one down inside the embryo chamber thing, and he goes, does it again, pops out another one, puts it in his the thing, then closes up the drawer. Then he makes a report to Weyland Yutani and stuff and tells them that, you know, what happened with the Covenant and stuff like that, and all but Captain Daniels and so on and so forth, and that never mentions about the planet they were on and stuff like that. And he says, this is Walter, you know, signing off from the Covenant, and the ship drifts off into space, and that's how it ends. And it's like, oh my God, Walter got killed by David. Okay, and he cut off his own hand to take his place. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Here, Walter's supposed to be a new advanced version of the android and stuff, and he got killed. How? Either way. Final judgment for Alien Covenant is going to be a 7 out of 10. This movie went from boring to picking up with action towards the last half of the film. I think it was like maybe the last half hour of the film, because it started off with, you know, the neomorphs bursting out of the one guy's backside, and then the one bursting out of the other guy's chest and crap. It just picked up from there and shit. The action was picking up from there and stuff. But it took too long. It took too long to bring about the xenomorphs and stuff. It was just like, what the fuck? Either way, thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up for the fact that the action with the xenomorphs was great. I loved it. I was enjoying it. I was going, holy shit, come on, get your asses out of there. And the suspense keeps you going and stuff. But there was just too much of the fact that Walter being the android, that's what gets the thumbs down. Walter the android and David the android. David being the main bad guy of the whole thing. Not the xenomorphs, not the neomorphs. David being the whole deal here. I mean, literally, Michael Fassbender as David playing the villain was just horrible for this one. I was like, an evil android. I mean, literal evil android. He kills the engineers. I forgot to mention that part. When he's talking to Walter about things and stuff, he killed the engineers. They got to their home world, which they were on, and he fucking dropped this shit on top of them, and it literally was ripping them to pieces and shit, and they fucking died. He killed the engineers. And when he found out about Catherine there and stuff, that she's laying there split wide open and everything else in between, he found out he lied to him about it and stuff. He lied to him about everything. And he says that this is why the model, you know, the model of you was redone and stuff without the human emotions and stuff, because you were too unpredictable. And he says, you're absolutely right. And he goes, pah, hits him so hard in the throat. He thinks he killed him, okay? But instead, Walter freaking revamps and shit, and yeah, like I said, it was just unbelievable. It was just like, what the fuck? Okay, so it turns out David is the creator of the xenomorphs. The aliens all together. Either way, recommendations? Go see the movie if you want to. Go see the movie if you want to. If you don't want to, don't waste your time. If you think it'll be worth watching and you're an Alien fan, go see the movie. But my recommendation, don't see it more than once at the theater. Okay? See it once and go from there. Okay? If you want to go see it again in the theater, that's up to you. Okay? Spend your hard-earned money and go see it again if you want to. But in my general opinion, see it once in theaters, then wait for Blu-ray and DVD or pay-per-view, and then watch it again. Because I will not go to the movies and see this again. I saw it the once, and that was enough. And it was just like, would I watch it again? Probably for pay-per-view, DVD, Blu-ray kind of deal, but not in theaters again. Very disappointing. Very disappointing for a prequel story to find out that an android is the reason why the xenomorphs exist. Whew. Either way, Final Judgment stands at a 7 out of 10. And that's it for this episode of the Comic Book Review Show. What are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? Did you like Alien Covenant? Did you think it was okay? If you've already seen it, we want to know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel if you're new, leave your comments. Everyone will have an opinion, so every one of you has a different opinion on something. That's yours to have. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, so let's keep it clean, simple. Make your opinion voiced down in the comment section and go from there. And don't forget to hit the little bell icon in the subscriber button so you know when our next new episode of Comic Book Review Show or anything else in between comes up. You'll be the first ones to know it, first ones to comment on it, first ones to like the video, anything in between. And that's it. We're done. Until the next time, when we're going to be our next comic book review show, we're going to be reviewing Wonder Woman that comes out in theaters June 2nd. Until next time, my adventurous ones, happy comic book reading. See Alien Covenant if you want to. Final Judgment is a 7 out of 10. And we'll see you all next time. Peace out. May the Force be with every single one of you. Later.